Good morning, how are we all? I'm feeling a little bit today, but I'm gonna power through. I've got my trusty coffee with me in my Disneyland Paris Simba mug. Needed. Absolutely needed. What I will say though is grab yourself a drink so we can get right into it. There we go. Do you know what, right? I have written down my notes because I'll end up forgetting. But today is about accessible caravan holidays. We went to Haven Holiday and it was amazing, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it. But there was a few things that I did notice that kind of made me question, is it really that accessible? And today I'm going to share them with you. So if you are thinking of going to a Haven holiday, you've got this to sort of fall back on and think about as well. Let's get right into it, shall we? Right, so last year we went to Seashore in Great Yarmouth, Haven holiday. Absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. We didn't think that we was going to get an accessible caravan. We didn't even know that that kind of existed until we did look on the app and we found one. We was like, okay, let's just see how it is. Got there, went in there. Oh my God, we loved it. It was so much fun. I managed to get into the caravan as well. The caravan was very accessible. It had a hoist. It had all the adaptations that you kind of needed. Not all of them, but you know, the main ones. And we was like, wow, we're really impressed with this. We was really shocked. So we thought, do you know what? We'll do another caravan holiday this year. We thought we'll do another Haven because there's plenty of stuff for kids to do. And obviously we have a child and we wanted it to be a family friendly holiday. My mum was up there as well, and so was my sister-in-law as well. So we all kind of then decided, let's have a holiday together. So we decided to book Haven holiday in the Golden Sands in Lincolnshire. We booked that resort. Is it a resort? Whatever it is. We booked it on the app as well. I've got the app, so I signed in and I had a little mooch about it and see what there was. It did give you an option for an accessible caravan, which I was very happy with. What I really enjoyed with that as well is that it was pet friendly. So we had an accessible caravan option with pet friendly as well. So that was exactly what we needed because we've got 2 dogs now. And well, obviously we need an accessible caravan. So the caravan cost us £515. You could actually put on Kalana as well. So I did it as Kalana and I paid it over in 3 months, which wasn't actually that bad. It didn't take a massive chunk. Me and my partner, we went halves on that anyway. So yeah, if you do want to have the option of paying on Kalana and paying it in free, then you've always got that. I mean, the app is great. It does give you all what you need. You know, it gives you all the activities, all the times, and it tells you everything what you need to know and all the food options and everything. And it even does kind of give you a map as well, where they are and what's surrounded around it. So I was pretty much on there having a mooch to see what was around and see what we could do outside of Haven. It also gives you the list of what you get in your caravan as well. So bedding wise, your cutlery, your cups, your all of that, okay? So you don't have to bring any of that, or kettle or anything like that. You need to bring your towels, your washing up liquid, your washing up like little sponge, your tea towels, your food, all of those sort of essential little things. The one thing I didn't notice on the caravan on the app though when I was booking it is it just said a double room. It didn't say that it was 2 singles. So when we got there and we saw that the main bedroom, like the master bedroom, had 2 single beds in it, we were like, oh, what are we gonna do here? Are we like 70? My partner was like, what are we doing? So we thought we will put the 2 beds together so we can sleep, because sleeping in a single as a disabled isn't the most ideal, because you do need that extra space to be able to maneuver, especially with my paralysed arm. I've got to wiggle around a lot to shuffle and move my arm across. So a single bed wasn't really ideal. However, the mattress was fucking comfortable. I will say you that. Let's have a drink break. Cheers. Ding. One thing I also noticed as well is the toilet, the disabled toilet. You can barely fucking swing a cat around there. So there was one day we was in like the live lounge, or we was in the K side. We was having dinner, and my bladder had spasmed, and it then made me urge to go for a shit. So I said to my partner, I was like, I need to go. So we was like, right, okay, like, let's go. We needed to like dart it to the toilet. Found the toilet outside into like the little, I want to say matinee. It's not a matinee. It's like where it links the restaurant to the live lounge. It was there. It was tucked away in the corner though. And we opened the door and we looked and we was like, that's small. So with my wheelchair, me and him, it was a tight squeeze. I had to transfer onto the toilet in a very awkward position, in a very awkward way, trying to have the handrail as well, so you got the support. It was hard. It was really, really difficult. And I don't know who it was or what it was, but they kept trying to open the door when I was having a shit. And I was like, can I not just have a shit in peace? Can a cripple not just enjoy having a shit in peace without someone trying to open the freaking door? It was really distracting and it was really hard because my bladder kept spasming, so that kept making me urge more. And it was just, I mean, to be fair, it was the end of my catheter change. So the next week I was having a catheter change, and my catheter, my bladder, it was a bit sore and it was a bit in pieces. So yeah, that didn't help either. I looked at the toilet space and I thought, no way in hell would you get a bigger wheelchair with 6 wheels in that room with an assistance. No way in hell. I don't think they thought thoroughly on accessibility, and I don't think they thought thoroughly on disabled space toilet, you know, because you do need that space. It was a bit disappointing, to be honest. I was pretty disappointed in the disabled toilet, and that was the only one that I found as well. So I didn't see any other disabled toilet around the area apart from that one. However, a little positivity is the area was all flat. So it was all flat surface. It was double doors, automatic. It was all open and it was nice. It was spacey. Apart from the arcade, that was, when it was busy in there, that was tight. Like, that was tight. So just be mindful of going in at the busy periods when everyone's in the arcades, mainly in the evenings. It is tight. Right, so the caravan itself, we are going to talk about the caravan. I was really shocked and I was really excited for this caravan. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going into another caravan. Never did I think that I was going to be able to do this. Like a couple of years ago when I was in that hospital bed, I was like, I'm never going to be able to do anything again. A couple of years later, I'm on my second caravan holiday. Oh, just arm spasming, sorry. So yeah, so the ramp essentially isn't wide enough to go, the width wise it's not wide enough. I could barely turn the corner in my foldable wheelchair, and that was a very tight turn. And if you've got the door open as well, it is a really tight turn to get into the caravan. There was a bit of a gap, probably like there, to get up into the door to get in. I couldn't do it. My wheelchair, my wheels would not do it. So if you're in a power wheelchair, you're going to struggle. Even with they gave us some plastic ramp thing. My partner called up and said, my partner can't get into the caravan. She's in a wheelchair. It was quite funny. Now, not at the time. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get into it? Luckily for me though, I'm not walking, I'm like waddling around a little bit. I can only take a few steps. So I managed to take a few steps into the caravan and be able to do it that way. That's how we did it, because we physically couldn't get me and the wheelchair in the caravan. So my partner would be behind me or supporting me, get me in, then the wheelchair in, then I can then get in it and wheel around and stuff like that. If you're in a manual wheelchair, you might just be able to pop a wheelie up into the door, into the caravan. But if you're in a power wheelchair, no chance. Just bearing that in mind. Obviously, I mentioned about the single beds. I'm going to mention them again. They were nailed to the wall. They were like physically, like the frame was nailed to the wall. We were like, because we were going to put them together, like I said. But then when my partner was like, okay, they're nailed to the wall, we were like, oh. There was no hoist or anything like that in the room, like you've seen in the other vlog where I've showed you. It is just 2 single beds in a standard room. Even the doors are not wide enough. Do you know what I mean? Even though they're sliding doors, that's great, but they're not, the width wise of it is not big enough. I mean, it was difficult. Like I said, there was no hoist or anything like that in the big main bedroom. Not everyone needs the hoist, but this is the thing with disability, right, is every disabled person is different. Every disabled person has different needs. And some people need things higher, some people need lower things. Some people need assistance with hoists and all of that. Some people don't. Some people just need a low bed that they can just transfer onto. You know, some people need a higher bed. It's hard to just... The thing with disability and accessibility of that is it is hard to accommodate for everyone. And I will say, I'll give them their dues that they have accommodated for a standard disabled person. But when you need to then start looking into specific stuff, that's when it gets a bit complicated. Let me turn over my page, because I've got more. Oh my god, yeah, right. So the second bedroom, I couldn't even get in. Like I couldn't get in there with my wheelchair or anything, so I just did not even go in there. And I was just like, I said to my daughter, I was like, make it sure that it's clean. Do not leave it above it. Then the bathroom, like, again, it's a standard disabled person bathroom, you know, but it doesn't cater for everyone. The toilet was higher, which is really good for me, but if someone was in their manual wheelchair paralysed from like chest down or waist down, they would need a toilet lower because it's quite a big lift for them to lift up on. Whereas me, I need that height. Although, you know, you have all the grab rails and the handrails around you, they were placed at the perfect spots. They were, I will give them that. Then he comes to the shower. This fucking shower, honestly. So one wall is where the shower is, the shower head. Then the opposite is where the shower chair is. Pulls out, you sit on it. And it was facing me, and I was looking around and I said, like, where can I put my shampoo and like my conditioner and stuff? There isn't any, like, you know, like one of those like shell mesh shell things you could put your stuff in. There was nothing like that. And I was looking around and I was like, you're gonna have to hold me stuff. If I bent over, I would have slipped and fallen off, so I couldn't put them on the floor. And then I was looking at this shower up like above me. And I was like, how am I meant to wash my hair? Because my hair is here. And it just wasn't working. So showering independently was not an option. I had to have my partner there, standing there. And he literally was my shower head man. So I was then washing my hair and stuff like that. And then he would then be giving me my shower gel, or, you know, my shampoo and stuff like that. So having a bit of privacy in the shower, because, you know, everyone loves a bit of privacy in the shower. That's your like 10 minutes where you just zen out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we didn't have that. Kitchen area though made me laugh. So right, so paint you a picture. You got the kitchen. It's open space at the bottom, so you can put your wheelchair in, you can wash up. The cooker's there. Above you is where all the cutlery and all that is. So all your pots and pans, everything's up there. And I was looking and I was like, how am I meant to get up there and get that? That wasn't thoroughly thought through. That made me laugh because I was just like, how the fuck are you meant to get up there? If I was on my own or something, do you know what I mean? But luckily I was with my partner that could bring down whatever I wanted. But again, that's then me losing my independence because I'm having to rely on someone else. As a disabled person, you don't want that. You want to be able to do things yourself. You don't want to have to ask for help. Yes, so then we come to the living room. The living room, perfect space, that's fine. The sofa was lowered. There was no like block or anything to push the sofa up. And then the TV was in a really stupid place. So you got like the L shape of the sofa and then the TV is there. So if anyone's sitting on these sides, you have to like turn, but then they're blocking the TV. And we're like, how does that work? How are you meant to sit and watch TV if you're in here watching TV? We never actually used the TV. I think we turned it on once and we was like, fuck this, there's nothing on, turn it off. So that was the caravan that we had. If you are going to Golden Sands, go and enjoy it. It was fun, minus all the flaws that it had. We had a good week. The one thing that I've definitely learned with being a wheelchair user is you can't have everything. Obviously not. And not everything is accessible. Obviously not. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Follow along for more.